How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to another Mortal Kombat 1 video. Today, we're going to be talking about the Khaos Reigns DLC story expansion. At this point, it should not be a surprise to anyone that Khaos Reigns was just a disappointment all around. It was so bad that there's reports that it caused the cancellation of any future DLC or story mode expansions we might see in MK1 in the future. Now, I can't speak for everyone when I say why this expansion went so bad, but for me personally, they hyped Chaos Reigns up so much. I'm a huge Havoc fan, probably one of the biggest Havoc fans out there in the Mortal Kombat community, and seeing that we're getting a story mode expansion that focused solely on Havoc, he was the main antagonist, the story revolved around him. So I was super excited for this, it was super hyped up. And then just when we actually got the product, it felt unfinished, lackluster. It made you feel like you were wanting more, like there's something missing from it to make it complete. And this seems to be the general consensus from the Mortal Kombat community. A lot of people felt that the foundation for this expansion pack was good, but it just didn't do enough to make it worth it. So, in today's video, I'm going to talk about the Chaos Reigns expansion and how they could have made it better. This video will do an entire overhaul of the expansion pack, all the way from the story mode chapters, to the DLC characters, to the extra content like skins and dragon crystals, but the main focus will be on the story mode and how to make that fit the fan expectations. First thing we're going to talk about are the playable DLC characters that are included. Those being Noob Saibot, Sector, Cyrax, Ghostface, Conan, and the T-1000. Overall, I think this pack is pretty good, but we are going to do some substitutions. I think you can keep Noob, Sector, Cyrax, and Ghostface, the three story mode characters that make sense for this pack, and Ghostface, he is a character that people have been asking for a long time. We are going to remove Conan the Barbarian and T-1000. I just don't think these characters are necessary or anything that anyone asked for. Um, it was Ed Boon himself that kind of said he's an 80s kid, he loved the 80s movies, and that's the only reason we have Conan and T-1000 are for the developer's personal preference. These aren't characters anyone asked for. I don't think anyone cares that Conan is in here. And T-1000, we just had the T-800, so we had a Terminator DLC in the last Mortal Kombat, in Mortal Kombat 11. We don't need another one in this Mortal Kombat. So who would I substitute them with? I'm going to do two more, not guest characters, but actual Mortal Kombat characters from history. Those characters are going to be Draman and Jade. Now the reason I'm including these are for my ideas for the story mode. I do have a couple of chapters where these characters are actually included. These are also two characters that I think people have been wanting to see in a Mortal Kombat game. Even though we did just have Jade in Mortal Kombat 11, and she was super annoying in that, Jade is a fan favorite. And right now she's doing every other game type thing. I think if you included her in Mortal Kombat 1, that's going to draw more people to actually want to buy this pack, because Jade is a huge fan favorite character. The other one, Draman, Mortal Kombat 1 is advertised as a homage to the 3D era. And Draman is one of the most popular 3D era characters that hasn't been included in this game yet. He hasn't been in any NRS game yet, NRS being since Mortal Kombat 9. And he's one that I think a lot of people would actually like to see. And again, with my ideas for the story mode expansion, he fits in perfectly. So, sum up real quick, get rid of Conan, get rid of T-1000, replace them with Draman and Jade. Another thing that we're going to add to this combat pack, along with the 6 playable DLC characters, we're going to add one more cameo. Personally, I can't think of too many cameos that should be added to this that would make sense narratively with the game. I think we have a good selection of cameos, but I'm going to add one more, and that's going to be Moloch. He's another demon from the Netherrealm, kind of on the same plane as Draman, and he's going to make sense for the story mode that I have. We're also going to keep Madame Bo as she is with the story mode, so just add Moloch as a cameo, keep Madame Bo. Those two cameos fighters should be good enough. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the pre-order skins. If you pre-ordered Khaos Reigns, you ended up with 4 free skins. That was the Wedding Scorpion skin, the Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 Sub-Zero skin, Empress Melina, and the Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 Noob Saibot. Now when I say get rid of these skins, I mean don't make them the pre-order bonus. I love all 4 of these skins and they should be included in the game, just not as the pre-order bonus. Rather, the pre-order bonus skin should be the Titan Havoc skin. This Khaos Reigns expansion focuses on Havoc. He's the main entity that basically brought this expansion to life. So it makes sense that the DLC you get for buying this is more Havoc based. You already get the Titan Havoc skin for beating the Khaos Reigns story mode, but rather than having it at the end of it, have it be the pre-order bonus. Draw people more. This is Havoc. This is Havoc's time. Make that pre-order skin be the Titan Havoc skin. These other 4 skins, the Wedding Scorpion and Empress Melina, you should unlock as you play the story mode. Everyone should know by now that as you play through the story mode, once you beat certain chapters, you unlock skins and gear that correlate with that chapter mode. Get the Wedding Scorpion skin right after that chapter when he has his wedding. Get the Empress Melina skin right after that chapter when you see Empress Melina. And the Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 skins, have those show up as a DLC pack later where you bundle the skins together and it's free. It releases at a separate time. Mortal Kombat 11 did this with the Aftermath bundle, where as time progressed they released packs of skins, but they were free. These skins should be free, but just maybe not released as a pre-order. Have them release sometime in the future to keep people engaged and involved with Mortal Kombat 1. Continuing on with the theme of DLC skin packs, we're going to have DLC skin packs that correlate with each new DLC character that comes out. So for example, when Ghostface came out, they should have had a Halloween skin pack, just like the MK11 Aftermath did. Just make Halloween costumes for 3 characters, have it be a free skin pack that releases with Ghostface. And then for the other skin packs we got, so we had an MKX skin pack that you can buy now for 500 Dragon Crystals each for Scorpion and Sub-Zero. That shouldn't cost Dragon Crystals, that should be free. For my Khaos Reigns revamp, it would be released for free with Draman, and I'll explain that a little bit later once I explain the story mode, but those skins should be free with Draman. Then the next one, the Mortal Kombat movie skin pack that is rumored for the future. You know those are each going to cost Dragon Crystals, probably 500 each again, so you've got to spend a whole bunch of money to get all of them. Instead, make it a free skin pack to release with Jade, the last DLC character in the skin pack. So that being said, 2 more free skin packs, the MKX skin pack and the movie skin pack, and a Halloween one to go with Ghostface. Have more skin packs in here. We should not be paying basically $5 per skin just to have a customization in Mortal Kombat 1. Make them free with this expansion. And the last thing that we're going to add to this, we're going to add Dragon Crystals. So when you had the option to pre-order Khaos Reigns or to buy Khaos Reigns, you could buy just the Khaos Reigns expansion or the entire basically DLC expansion for Mortal Kombat 1, which included Combat Pack 1 in case you didn't buy it up to that point. When you bought that extended version, you got 1,250 Dragon Crystals, which can be used in the item shop to get skins, especially like the ones that we mentioned before, that cost Dragon Crystals. But for whatever reason, they didn't have that option with just the base Khaos Reigns. So if you already had Combat Pack 1, you couldn't get more Dragon Crystals by ordering Khaos Reigns. You had to earn them. And to me, that's kind of bogus. I think to really seal the deal on this Combat Pack, the Khaos Reigns expansion, throw in maybe 1,200 Dragon Crystals. That way, if there are some skins that we have to buy that aren't included for free, you have the Dragon Crystals to buy them. Because at the point where Khaos Reigns came out, I'm guessing most people are out of Dragon Crystals. You don't get that many to begin with. Everything in the item shop is super expensive for Dragon Crystals. You can probably buy 3 skins with just the amount you get from the game. And if you want more, you either have to pay money for them or grind through characters, and you get 200 Dragon Crystals per character you max out. And a lot of people aren't maxing out every character in this game. So just give us some more Dragon Crystals so we can buy some of these skins that aren't being given away for free. So that about does it for what I would change with what's all included with Khaos Reigns. Keep Animalities the same, that was a great addition, and it was free, so I don't think anyone's complaining about Animalities. But now we're going to move on to the story mode. As is, Khaos Reigns included 5 new story mode chapters, those chapters being Cyrax, Sector, Rain, Tanya, and then finally Noob Saibot. That doesn't sound like a whole lot, but if you recall, Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath also only had 5 chapters. The difference being Aftermath felt a little fuller, more fleshed out, and it left you satisfied after playing it. Chaos Reigns doesn't do that. It kind of feels like it's missing something. So with that being said, we're going to up it from 5 chapters to 8. And I'm going to go through, I'm going to talk about the chapters in order, kind of what would be included in that story mode, who you're playing with, and maybe some rewards you would get at the end. So without any further ado, let's jump into the story mode chapters. This new story mode is going to start off exactly how the Mortal Kombat 1 story finished. You're going to see Titan Havoc appear on the pyramid with all of his minions. He's going to walk down, kill Jax. Kenji's going to talk about how he's sad that the chaos ended so soon, and Havoc saying next time it won't. From there, it's going to fade out, and we're going to get a title card that says previously or in the original timeline. We then open up to Chapter 1, Rise to Chaos. In this chapter, you are playing as the classic Havoc from Mortal Kombat Deception. He's the same one that we saw in the Mortal Kombat X comic series, and this chapter is going to follow right after the events of that. So, it opens up. Havoc is in the Netherrealm being tortured by Draman and Moloch. These two are taunting Havoc, telling him that he never should have betrayed Quan Chi, and now he's going to suffer for millennia for it. Here, Havoc laughs at that statement. He's visibly enjoying the torture. It doesn't matter what they do to him, he loves the chaos, he's gonna regenerate. Suddenly, Revenant Jade walks into the scene. She approaches Draman and Moloch. She tells them that Devora has just secured Shinnok's amulet, and she is on her way to meet Quan Chi, who is just taken captive by the Special Forces, in order to free Shinnok. Draman and Moloch are elated. Their master is finally going to be freed. Their time to rule the realms is now. When in the background, we see Havoc, who is strung up similar to how Scorpion was in the Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge. You see him rip off one of his arms, exposing the bone. He uses that bone to stab Draman in the neck. Havoc then rips off the rest of his limbs, his legs and his other arm. He quickly regenerates them back, standing tall against his captors. And he taunts them, saying, "You never could have kept me captive forever. You gave me what I want. It's time for chaos to return." Jade challenges back. This is their time to shine. Shinnok is about to be freed. He is not going to let Havoc ruin their chance at this. Here you enter in the first battle of this chapter. Havoc versus Revenant Jade, with Moloch as the cameo fighter. You dispose of Jade quickly, but by then, Draman has recovered. He's a demon, a stab to the neck does not affect him that much. Moloch also recovers. They challenge you, saying, "How dare you try and escape, you will pay for what you've done." You then enter the second battle against Draman with Moloch cameo. Again, these demons show to be no challenge. Havoc disposes of them quickly and makes his way to the Netherrealm portal, where he uses it to escape back to Chaos Realm. We flash forward in time a little bit. Havoc is sitting in his throne room in Chaos Realm, wondering how his plans for the Kamidogu could have went so wrong. He was at the verge of blessing all the realms with chaos. He blames Hanzo Hasashi for being able to break free from Scorpion and challenge him and basically beat him and send him to the Netherrealm to be tortured. He was the one part of his plan that he never could have seen coming. Suddenly, you see a flash of light and a portal open up in his throne room. You see a hand from off-screen bounce in and land right in front of Havoc's feet. He looks at it curiously. Where is this hand from? You see the hand suddenly turn to sand, shift off back to where the portal came from, and combine with Geras, who is now recovering fully. After Geras recovers, he looks at Havoc, and he tells Havoc that Kronika has requested his aid, that he is required to come with him, or else he'll be banished to the void. Havoc is astonished. He's heard the rumors of a great titan of time, but he never knew these rumors to be true. Here, Havoc refuses to join Kronika and her order, but he also refuses to be sent to the void, so he fights Geras, immobilizing him with his chaos magic. Geras can stop time, but he is no match to Havoc's chaos magic. After he's immobilized, Havoc turns to Geras and tells him, "You will take me to Kronika, you will take me to her keep. I'm going to take care of this titan myself." With no other choice, Geras takes Havoc to Kronika's keep. At this point, we are transported to right towards the end of the Aftermath story mode, where we see Shang Tsung, Shao Kahn, and Sindel all waiting outside the keep, about to bust in. When the portal opens and Havoc walks through, they turn around, amazed. How could Havoc be here? This didn't happen before. Havoc battles Shao Kahn with Sindel as his cameo, disposing of them quickly. It then switches to Shang Tsung, who has Kronika's crown. You battle Shang Tsung too in order to gain possession of that crown. You beat him, you gain the crown, you walk through the doors, you are now face to face with Kronika. Havoc turns to Kronika, tells her that he will no longer follow her rule and her order, that her time is done. He's going to take the hourglass for himself and make everything into chaos. Kronika dismisses Havoc. He's a non-factor. He's not a threat. She's never even considered him to be anything. This pisses Havoc off. Using his chaos magic, he takes Kronika's crown and combines it with his headpiece, which is the Deception headpiece, the classic Havoc headpiece. When the two of them combine, they suddenly transform and morph into the Titan Havoc headpiece that we see featured in Mortal Kombat 1. We then get a very short cinematic. You don't actually see the fight, it happens off screen, but you hear the sounds of fighting. You then see Kronika's body fall down. You just see that fall down on screen, and her head falls down slightly after, rolling away. And then the camera pans to Havoc. He turns around and faces the hourglass. He starts combining his chaos magic with it, saying that now the realms will be blessed with his chaos. The screen then fades to black, and we get the title card for Mortal Kombat 1 Chaos Realms. It's the exact same title card you see when you start up the game, basically saying now the story mode is going to start. After beating this, or throughout this chapter mode, you're going to unlock the Revenant Jade skin, you're going to unlock the classic Havoc skin and gear, and you're also going to unlock the Mortal Kombat 11 Geras skin. The reason I included this chapter, and I think it's relevant, is it makes the Mortal Kombat X comic series canon again. If you didn't know, Mortal Kombat X had a comic series that tied in to the game story mode, explaining a lot of the events that happened before Mortal Kombat X. However, for whatever reason, they made it so that comic is no longer canon. If you haven't read it, I suggest reading it. Basically, the plot is Havoc uses the Kami Dogu to corrupt everyone, to try and create as much chaos as possible. He gets stopped by Hanzo Hasashi, who breaks free from Scorpion. Havoc's then transported to the Netherrealm and tortured. So we're going to basically jump back into the end of that, where Havoc is in the Netherrealm. He breaks free, and it shows exactly how he ended up at the Hourglass and took control and beat Titan Kronika. It also kind of ties in the Mortal Kombat 11 story mode from Aftermath, where Shang Tsung sends Geras through the portal and says Havoc will keep him company. Now we actually see what Havoc did when Geras was sent to him. I think this is really important to just kind of give us the origin of how Titan Havoc came to be, and not just oh, Titan Havoc exists. I want to see how he came to be. We now move on to Chapter 2, A Daring Escape, where you play as General Shao with Raiko as your cameo. We fade back to the current timeline. Shao and Raiko are sitting in an outworld jail. They're tossing rocks around in their hands, or tossing them at their feet. They're contemplating how they're going to get out of this jail and overthrow Melina's current regime. They blame aligning with Shang Tsung and Quan Chi as their downfall and why they didn't succeed. Their plans were great, it was the sorcerers that doomed them. In the background, you see Rain sitting in the same jail cell, but he's moping. He makes a comment saying that they all deserve to fail, that it wasn't the sorcerers that doomed them, it was their own greed. Shao tosses one of the rocks at Rain, hitting him. Rain's completely unaffected. They dismiss Rain as a sniveling child, that his guilt for his actions on Saito should not bear weight on them. That was Rain's decision, that their act to overthrow the regime was for the good of Outworld. When suddenly, they hear the sounds of fighting. They hear grunting, battling, some gushing sounds as some people are starting to get killed. They're shocked. The couple Umgadi guards that were standing in front of their cell leave to go investigate, though they get killed off screen. Suddenly, Shao and Raiko's breath starts to turn icy. They look up and see Bihan walking towards their cell. Sub-Zero tells them that he has plans for taking over Earthrealm for the Lin Kuei, but he can't take action without drawing too much attention from Liu Kang. He needs a distraction to be able to proceed undetected. So that's why he decided to free Shao and Raiko from jail, to pull the attention away from him and the Lin Kuei and towards them as they start to regain an army to try and take over Melina's regime. Sub-Zero freezes the cell's cage. He smashes it, it breaks apart, bursting open, freeing Shao, Raiko, and Rain. Shao and Raiko eagerly step out. They don't agree with why Sub-Zero is freeing them, but they're not going to waste this opportunity. Rain, who feels guilty for his actions on Saito, stays in the jail cell. He doesn't want any more heat on him. From here, Sub-Zero disappears into the shadows. He's gone. He's going back to Lin Kuei. After this, Umgadi warriors start to rush in. They heard the jail cell opening up. They heard their other guardsmen get killed. Here, Tanya, with an Umgadi cameo, walks in. They see that Shao and Raiko have escaped. How dare they? They need to fight them, get them back in their cage. However, General Shao beats them easily. As you leave the jail cell and try and leave the Umgadi prison, the Outworld prison, you run into many different fighters and guards. The next fight is Reptile. Then you have to fight Katana, Li Mei to escape. All of these have just generic Umgadi cameos, nothing too special, just basically quick fight after fight as you escape the prison. The last fight is you fight Ermac. Here he is still King Jared in Ermac's body. However, after you beat Jared, he loses control of Ermac, who turns into the classic Ermac again and disappears. This will give explanation of how Jared lost control of Ermac and he's back to his normal Ermac self for the rest of the story. After they escape the prison, Shao and Raiko wander to Outworld's wastelands where they'll never be found. Shao shares his plan with Raiko to gather enough followers and an army to be able to overthrow Melina's weak regime. But to do this, they're going to need a power like no other. Shao hints at a powerful being that his family had captured millennia ago, and he wants Raiko to go and tame him. The next two chapters are going to follow as they normally did in Khaos Reigns. We're going to have Cyrax's chapter, where you see her battling Sector and basically the introduction to the Cyber Lin Kuei, vision of Kuai Liang's wedding. After that, you're also going to have the Sector's chapter, where Havoc invades the Liu Kang's timeline, taunts him a little bit, kidnaps Geras, and then Bihan chases after him. We are going to make a couple quick tweets to this. So, in the scene where Liu Kang is talking to Melina about what to do, and that they're sending Scorpion, Cyrax, Sector into the Chaos Realm to chase after Bihan, that's going to stay the same, but you're going to have an additional conversation where Melina, Jade, and Smoke leave to hunt down Shao and Raiko. You already have that hinted in the story mode where Kang says Melina can't leave to chase after Bihan because of Shao and Raiko gathering strength. So now it's not just a toss away line, now they're actually going to go and chase after them, right? Liu Kang will take care of Chaos Havoc, Melina will take a few fighters and look after Shao and Raiko. Another quick story edit we're going to make, when Sub-Zero is being held hostage and he's being taken to Havoc's laboratory, he looks around and just sees a whole bunch of Geras bodies laying on the floor everywhere. Now we're going to add just a quick little conversation between Havoc and Sub-Zero when he's being strung up upside down. Sub-Zero calls back to seeing all these Gerases, asking Havoc, how many timelines have you taken? He's noticed all the Geras, it's one for each timeline. How many has he taken over and corrupted with his chaos? Havoc responds, Liu Kang's timeline is all but remains. Once I merge my reality with his, all realms will be blessed with my anarchy. And I think this is a really important and necessary line because it deletes the multiverse. One of the biggest problems with media today is that everyone is jumping on the multiverse fad. DC technically did it first with the Arrowverse, Marvel hopped onto it with Endgame, and now everyone is just kind of following in their footsteps. At this point, everyone is sick of the multiverse. All it does is muddy up the story and the timeline. And it's kind of a cheap cop-out, like, you kill a character, there's no emotional tie to killing that character, though, because of the multiverse. They just come back as a slightly different version of them, but it's basically the same thing. So with this one line, you basically establish that, one, Havoc is a huge threat. He has taken over every single other timeline. He's killed every other Titan. The Titan Raiden, Kitana, and Kung Lao that we saw in Mortal Kombat 1 story mode are dead. They were taken over by Titan Havoc. And now, the only timeline left to conquer is Liu Kang's. We're now gone from an entire multiverse, hundreds of thousands of possibilities, to two, Liu Kang's and Havoc's. We are now on to Chapter 5, Jaded. In this chapter, you play as Jade, and you have Smoke and Melina both as cameo fighters. This is a unique chapter in which, in the match, you can choose between sending out Smoke to assist you or Melina. The story goes, Melina, Jade, and Smoke investigate Shao and Raiko's disappearance. There's rumors that they were in Outworld's wasteland, so that's where they head. There, they see a camp. They see a bunch of followers, including Shokan, Naknadans, Centaurians, and Tarkatans, among normal Outworld citizens. In the middle, you see a giant tent, clearly where General Shao and Raiko are staying. You carefully sneak over to there without disturbing anybody. You look in, and you see Raiko preparing to leave to go find Onaga. Shao is talking to him about what to expect. Suddenly, Raiko spots you sneaking into the tent. There, you battle Raiko first, with General Shao as his cameo. Once Raiko gets knocked down, General Shao takes charge of the battle, and now Raiko is the cameo. After you beat both of them, you notice that Melina, her Tarkat, starts to overtake her. But she's not like the Melina at the end of Mortal Kombat 1, where she's understanding of surroundings. She's feral again. She turns on you and attacks. You are forced to fight Melina. You knock her unconscious. But when you do that, Shao and Raiko have recovered. They call for help, and you see Collector, Shiva, and Motaro all show up in the tent. They call you out. You fleed. Jade, Melina, and Smoke all flee the scene. After fleeing for a while, you're finally able to take a breath in the corrupted forest, when you overhear another commotion going on. You peek behind some trees, and there you see Titan Havoc. He is speaking with the Havoc from that timeline. Titan Havoc is commemorating him on his work destroying Saito, and he's letting him know about a paradise in his realm where chaos reigns supreme, and in the middle is a giant arena where they can watch fighters battle to the death all day. While they're eavesdropping on this conversation, one of the corrupted trees comes to life and grabs Smoke. This commotion grabs the attention of both Havocs. They look over and challenge you for interrupting their conversation. Jade fights the new era Havoc, easily knocking him down. But after that fight, you move on to Titan Havoc, who with ease knocks Jade back. Titan Havoc points his weapon at Jade, menacingly, saying, "If I were not in a rush, you would be disposed of right now." He beckons to New Era Havoc, saying, "Come, we have a treat waiting for them. They need to get back to his realm." As they're about to leave through a portal, Smoke escapes from his tree, saying, "We can't let them get away." He turns invisible and attacks. However, Titan Havoc sees right through this. As Smoke is lunging invisible through the air, he reaches out one gnarly hand and grabs Smoke by the throat. Smoke is struggling a little bit, astonished that Titan Havoc could have picked him out so easily. With little to no effort, Havoc snaps Smoke's neck, killing him on the spot. But instead of just dropping the body, Titan Havoc looks at Smoke and says, "I have a plan for his corpse. I know how we can use this to our advantage." He drags Smoke's body through the portal as the two Havocs and Smoke disappear into the portal. Jade and now Melina, who has regained consciousness, look alarmed. They know they need to rush back to Liu Kang and let him know about what happened. Here, chapters 6 and 7 are the same as they were in the regular Chaos Realm. The Sector chapter, we actually kind of break up a little bit. So you have the first part of Sector's chapter where they're fighting Havoc in Liu Kang's timeline, and then you go back to the Jade chapter, and you're back to Sector's chapter when they reach into Havoc's timeline, when they're going through the village fighting all the Chaos Revenants. Then you proceed with the Rain chapter and the Tanya chapter as normal. The only difference here now being that instead of battling Noob Saibot, you're now battling Noob Smoke. Again, Mortal Kombat 1 is supposed to be an homage to the 3D era. In the 3D era, Noob wasn't just Noob. He actually teamed up with Cyber Smoke to become Noob Smoke. And that's what we're going to do at this part of the story. That's why Havoc took Smoke's body to his realm, is so he could pair him up with Noob. So now you don't just have regular Noob Saibot in the story mode, it is Noob Smoke. During the story mode, Noob does not have his shadow powers. Instead, it is replaced with a smoke assist. For those of you wondering if this is even possible to do, yes, you can have story mode characters have different movesets than the playable characters. The playable Noob Saibot is going to be exactly how he is now. And this is exactly what was done with Raiden in the story mode. Before he had his lightning powers, he had a unique moveset. After he gets the amulet, he plays in the story the exact same way as he plays in normal head-to-head matches. After you get through the story chapter where you beat Noob, this is where you unlock the classic Cyber Smoke skin that you can apply to the playable Smoke character. So now we go forward to chapter 8. This is the last chapter in the story mode, where again you play as Noob, but again this time as Noob Smoke. Everything else plays out exactly the same. You see a little bit more interaction between Noob and Cyber Smoke. Noob, who often belittled Smoke for not being true Lin Kuei, he was adopted and he wasn't part of his family. He didn't respect him in Mortal Kombat 1. But now he starts to respect him. He comments that now that Smoke is cyberized and listens to his every command, he is much better off. He approves of how Smoke was turned into a robot and just does everything he needs to. There's no more human emotion. He's a much more efficient ninja. This plants the seeds for the cyberization of the Lin Kuei. Not like the cyborg suits that they have in Mortal Kombat 1 with Sector and Cyrax basically just wearing armor. Noob is now realizing armor isn't good enough. Cyrax turned on them. But if they turned them into these cyborgs, like Cyber Smoke is, then the Lin Kuei will be unbeatable. They will all follow his command and do what he wants. There's no more free will. We do have a few more story edits within Noob Saibot's chapter. One big thing that really irritated me throughout the story is when Escape with the Kamidogu, Havoc shows up and takes the Kamidogu back. Liu Kang makes a statement, "So good of you to approve." This is right after Havoc says, "Your fighters are really adept at creating chaos." Liu Kang answers, "So good of you to approve." And Havoc is offended. He doesn't like this chaos. He said, "No, this is bad. Your chaos sucks. It ruins my plans." This is not Havoc at all. Havoc would love the chaos, despite what it's doing. So instead of Havoc saying, "No, you threw my plans into disarray," and the noobs calling him a hypocrite, instead, Havoc will say, "Approve. Despite the chaos they've manufactured, it was done in the name of order. This is blasphemy in the highest. Only chaos created in the name of chaos will be tolerated." Again, just changing this simple line will turn Havoc from a hypocrite and not really acting like Havoc should to a line that shows that Havoc does appreciate the chaos, but he knows that what they're doing isn't to create more chaos, it's to create order, and that's why he doesn't approve of it. And now we get to the end of the story, and I think this is where the biggest change is that really needed to be done. I'm going to preface this by saying the Kamidogu are supposed to be relics of unmatched power within the Mortal Kombat universe, and they did absolutely nothing in the story mode. They showed up and did nothing. They were just gonna be like, "Oh hey, Kamidogu is here." So now we're gonna have Havoc use the Kamidogu. Havoc goes to the portal gates like he normally does, but when he gets there, he uses the Kamidogu, combined with his chaos magic, to corrupt Liu Kang's timeline. This is just the step 1 of his 2-part plan to take over Liu Kang's timeline. First, he corrupts it, turns it chaotic. So when he does this, the whole map, or every setting, I guess, of this chaos realm, or of this story mode, turns into a chaos version. Similar to how the title screen, when you first log into Mortal Kombat, went from the normal happy statue that you see to the Chaos Realm update where it's kind of broken, the sky's green. And that's what Havoc does. He uses the Kamidogu to corrupt everything in this timeline. When he does this, you unlock Chaos versions of every single map that's already there in Mortal Kombat 1. So how you can have like the winter version of the gate portal, now you have a chaos version. You have a chaos version of the courtyard, the outworld courtyard. You have a chaos version of the Shaolin Temple where you do your training. This shows that not only did Havoc use the Kamidogu and show the power of the Kamidogu, it actually shows that Havoc actually accomplished at least the first part of his mission. Because up to this point in the story, Havoc was kind of useless. He didn't really do anything. Now, that's the first part. The second part is now that Liu Kang's realm is corrupted. It's starting to become chaotic. Now all he has to do is merge the two realms together, or the two timelines together, to fully corrupt everyone and to take over, to finish his mission. But then the cinematic continues as normal. All the fighters show up. You beat the Kenshi and Takeda variants, and Havoc surrounded. From here, Havoc rips off his arms, and you get into a battle. Noob Smoke versus Titan Havoc, the final battle as it was. But now there are differences in this final battle. So, one of the biggest issues, and this is Mortal Kombat 1 as a whole, is the boss battles didn't feel like boss battles. They felt like normal fights. There was no challenge to it. There was no threat. So, Havoc this time, instead of 2 rounds, it's now 4 rounds to beat him. In the first 2 rounds, when Havoc gets to half health, he kind of knocks you back. Similar to how Kronika did in Mortal Kombat 11. When you got her down to a certain health part, she sent out fighters to kind of take care of you. But this time, what Havoc does is he rips off his arms. He throws down both of his arms. They create 2 Havoc clones. They rip off their arms, throw them down. In total, there are now 6 Havoc clones on the screen. You have to battle all 6 of them to be able to get back to the main fight against Titan Havoc. Now these clones are going to act exactly like the zombies do in the invasions mode when you have to fight the zombies. They're super easy to kill. It takes 2 hits to kill them. And all they do is they kind of walk slowly towards you with the goal of grabbing you and biting you and then throwing you. If they bite you, they take away 20% health. It takes 2 hits to kill them. After you kill all 6, then Titan Havoc returns back to the fight. He loses 20% health just for you beating all of his zombie clones. This process repeats for every half health you beat, not including round ends. So you get into half health, you fight the zombies, then you beat them for the rest of the round. Second round starts, get into half health, zombies, you beat them. At the end of round 2, when you think you've won the fight, you see Havoc, he knocks you away, he grabs his chest, starts charging, and then a power explodes from him. He uses all the Kamidogu to shoot a blast of energy that hits Noob Smoke and knocks him down. Cyber Smoke is laying on the ground, his mechanics are on the fritz, he's not able to move, he's knocked out of the fight. You turn to Noob, and he's glowing green. A little smoky green energy is coming off of him. And all of a sudden shadows start popping out of him left and right. The Kamidogu, Havoc used them to try and back you up, basically kill you, end the fight. But there was an inadvertent side effect. It gave Noob Saibot his shadow powers. And now this is where Noob is his true self. He's no longer Noob Smoke. He's now Noob Saibot. The battle finishes like it did in Khaos Reigns. Noob Saibot wins. He uses his shadow powers to basically cripple Havoc so that he can't fight. You're ripping off his limbs faster than he regenerate. It's wearing him down. After the fight, Liu Kang tells Noob not to kill him, just like in the story mode. But not because he doesn't want to kill Havoc's timeline. Because he did that to Shang Tsung's timeline, had no problem destroying Shang Tsung's timeline. But he has a problem killing Havoc's timeline. Instead, he says he needs Havoc alive so that he can understand how to reverse the chaos that he did to the realm. Alright, this is no longer about, I want to preserve his timeline. It's now, he did damage to our timeline. We need to repair it. I need to study his chaos magic before I can do that. And we need the Kamidogu to do that. Noob Saibot rejects like he did in the story mode. And then, Geras freezes him. They send Noob Saibot to the Temple of the Elements. And Liu Kang removes the Kamidogu from Titan Havoc and sends him to the Void. just like in the regular story mode. However, as they are kind of convening, all the fighters are gathering together. The fight is over. They still haven't left the gateway portal. They're talking about what they need to do next. You hear a flapping noise in the wind. All the fighters look up. They see a giant dragon descending from the sky. On the back of this dragon is General Shao and Raiko. The dragon is none other than Onaga. He looks like Onaga, but he's very primitive. He's on all four legs. He looks like a dragon, but just with Onaga's face. All the fighters are exhausted. They just had this huge battle with Titan Havoc. They don't know if they can continue fighting. Some are still sitting on the ground, trying to recover from their wounds. They just fought Havoc and all these zombie clones of his. Shao and Raiko then dismount Onaga and start walking towards Liu Kang. We see Shao holding his classic hammer. Liu Kang sees the hammer and comments on it, saying that Shao never should have found that he purposely hid it away so that Shao would never find it and gain its powers. Shao laughs at this. He says he found it in the furthest reaches of Outworld's wastelands. He discovered it while in hiding and building his army. When he grabbed the hammer, it infused him with power that he had never known before, giving him new strength. There's a quick cinematic battle between General Shao and Liu Kang. Shao easily disposes of Liu Kang. He was exhausted. He just got in a fight with Havoc and sent him to the void. When he knocks down Liu Kang, the Kamidogu scatter on the ground. Shao takes these Kamidogu, holds them up, hands them to Onaga, and you see as the relics start to fuse into Onaga's body. Onaga then starts to transform. He's no longer this primitive dragon we saw enter the battlefield. He now turns into a humanoid dragon, the classic Onaga from Mortal Kombat Deception. Onaga then starts to gain consciousness. He scans his surroundings, taking note of all the Earthrealm fighters, who are now partially recovered. They're standing up ready to fight, seeing this new enemy. Onaga turns to Liu Kang, and he speaks. He says finally, he has returned. He claims he was the original ruler of Outworld at the beginning of time, but Liu Kang neutered him, turning him into a savage beast. But now that he's returned and has been given his full power, he plans on taking revenge on Liu Kang and destroying him, and taking all the realms for himself. However, he just went through this transformation, he just got his powers back. He's tired, he's exhausted. He tells Liu Kang that he will be back, that he better prepare for war, because he is coming and he is taking over. A portal opens behind him. Onaga, Shao, and Raiko walk through the portal. And this is the end of the Khaos Reigns story mode. Once you complete the Khaos Reigns story mode, you unlock Shao's hammer to use as a gear piece for your General Shao. You unlock the Havoc, and now an Onaga announcer voice. So that's my idea for the changes for the Khaos Reigns story mode. I think these changes are necessary and would do a great service to it. It does a few things. It makes the MK comic series canon. The MKX comic series was amazing, easily the best lore and story I've read. But for whatever reason, the creators of Mortal Kombat made it so that is no longer canon. Khaos Reigns has the chance to make that canon again. It gives you an origin of how Havoc came to power, how he defeated Titan Kronika. In the Mortal Kombat X, the only Revenant that was missing was Revenant Jade. The story gives an explanation of why Jade was missing from that story mode. She was in the Netherrealm fighting Havoc, and she was knocked out. That's why she's missing from the story. She was trying to prepare Netherrealm for Shinnok's arrival, and then bam, Havoc attacks and kind of delays that plan. It also shows Havoc as an actual threat. Right? When Khaos Reigns starts and Havoc enters Liu Kang's timeline and just defeats all the fighters, he's a threat. But that's the only time we actually see him being a threat. The rest of the time, he's just there chilling, watching basically a sporting event. He doesn't battle or do anything, and then he gets beat up by Noob. But now, with these story mode adjustments, you actually get a sense that Havoc is dangerous. He's worthy of being the boss fight in here. Same with his changes to his final fight. It's no longer just a regular fight like we had with Shang Tsung at the end of Mortal Kombat 1, the original story mode. Now it's an actual boss fight. It's not just a you fight him and you win. It's he's interrupted by his clones. You have to fight off his clones. Right? He has this Kami Dogu that knock you down. Like it's unavoidable. And it's not until you gain noob shadow powers that suddenly you're a worthy match for him. And the last part of that, setting up Onaga. Onaga is who everyone wanted to be the big bad in Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat 1 was being teased, all the teaser trailers were coming out. Everyone was theorizing, who's the main boss in Mortal Kombat 1? It's gotta be Onaga. If it's anyone else, the story's gonna suck. And, well, outside of Raiko's story ending or ladder ending, we don't really see Onaga. And this is a chance to set up Onaga as the big threat for the sequel. It also sets up the sequel, Mortal Kombat 13 or Mortal Kombat 2, however this is going to be. Because at the end of pretty much every Mortal Kombat game we've gotten, it has set up a sequel. Mortal Kombat 9 ends with Quan Chi and Shinnok planning on taking over. That sets up Mortal Kombat X. Mortal Kombat X ends with Dark Raiden going to Netherrealm and threatening Liu Kang and Kitana. That sets up Mortal Kombat 11. 11 ends with Liu Kang restarting the timeline, setting up Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat 1 Khaos Reigns doesn't really end on anything. It just kind of ends the story. We don't have an idea of what direction the sequel's going to go. By just having a quick cinematic of understanding what Shao and Raiko escaped and were doing, seeing Onaga gain his powers and being the Dragon King again, that sets up a sequel and shows that the next big bad is going to be Onaga, and that's going to build up crazy hype for the next game. Because everybody wants to see Onaga return, and now we see it. He is the big bad that is coming back. That is pretty much every change that I want to make for Khaos Reigns. There is one more addition we're going to do, and this is something that we haven't seen since Mortal Kombat XL that I wish Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath and Mortal Kombat 1 Khaos Reigns would have done. And that is a new set of trophies or achievements to go after with the new story edition. When Mortal Kombat XL released, they released 13 new trophies you could get, all revolving around the new stages that released and the DLC characters that released. I was surprised when Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath or Ultimate Edition didn't do that, and I expected to see more trophies to be able to get with Mortal Kombat 1 Khaos Reigns. I would consider myself a trophy hunter on PlayStation. I love trying to get all those achievements in a game. It not only just gives you a sense of accomplishment, but it also gives you another thing to work towards in the game. Because once you beat the story mode, it's pretty much just online play from there. Well, with a new set of trophies, you have another reason to keep playing the game. To 100% the game, keep getting all the trophies. And I just don't understand why NetherRealm didn't add more trophies to Chaos with the Khaos Reigns expansion. I, however, have thought of some trophies that you could get with it, and these are my ideas for some trophies that you could get with Khaos Reigns. So I have names for the trophies and the requirements to be able to get them. So we're just going to go through the list now, starting with The Future is Chaos. Complete 50% of the Khaos Reigns story mode. Then we have a hidden trophy. Once you unlock that trophy, you reveal the name, The Return of the King. Complete 100% of the Khaos Reigns story mode. The Cyber Initiative. Cyberize the Lin Kuei. Now this is an Easter egg trophy. In order to unlock this, you equip the Cyber Smoke outfit and gear that you unlocked in the story mode. You equip that to Smoke and you get the trophy. Basically hinting at the future of the Cyber Lin Kuei. The next one, Cinephile. Unlock every Combat Pack 2 character's ladder ending. So to get that trophy, pretty self-explanatory. Just do the classic tower, which with each Combat Pack 2 character, unlock their story mode, bam, you get their ladder ending, you get that trophy. Next one, Oni One Way to the Top. This is a play on words. Draman and Moloch are considered Oni. That's just a type of demon in Mortal Kombat lore. To get this trophy, complete the classic tower with Draman Moloch. Here we have some character-specific trophies that are specific to the Combat Pack 2 characters. Green Lady. Perform a brutality in the Towers of Time with Jade. Sticky. Land 5 capture foams in a single online match with Cyrax. Ketchup and Mustard. Win a game with Sector using Cyrax cameo. Return to the Shadows. Perform a Noob Saibot fatality on Sub-Zero. Combo Perfectionist. Complete every character combo tutorial. This is a trophy that I felt should have been in the original game. You had the combo tutorials, and in past Mortal Kombat games, you got trophies or achievements for completing the tutorial mode in all the tutorial challenges. You don't in Mortal Kombat 1. And they have the combo challenges, which would be the perfect opportunity for another trophy, but pretty much the only thing you get is a sense of satisfaction for completing them. Add a trophy to that, so that when you complete all the combo challenges, bam, you get this trophy. Next one, Animality. Perform an animality. Animaniac. Perform 5 unique animalities. And then Zoo Break. Perform every character's animality. This is just, they made animalities in this game. This is an excuse for them to use animalities. We already have trophies that say, like, use 5 different cameo brutalities, 5 different cameo fatalities. Now, just have one including all the regular animalities. And then the last 2 trophies are both hidden trophies. The first one is Hey You. And to unlock that, you have to find Floyd. Hey You is a reference to a Pink Floyd song, which is perfect because Floyd is based off of Pink Floyd. The other hidden trophy, Another Brick in the Wall, Defeat Floyd. So you don't just get the skin and the map, or the stage for beating Floyd, or finding Floyd and beating him. Now you actually get trophies associated with him too. And these are hidden, so it's not until Floyd would have been released. I'm fine with when Floyd got released with the Conan DLC. This time it would be the Draman DLC with my changes. But these are hidden until they show up. So people are sitting there wondering, what are these 2 hidden trophies? How do you unlock them? Bam. Once Floyd is discovered, that's how you unlock those last 2 trophies. And that pretty much concludes all the changes that I would do to Khaos Reigns. Personally, I think doing these changes, adding a few more story chapters, changing up the playable characters, and adding just one more cameo would really make this the best DLC story expansion, and probably the best story mode we've ever had in a Mortal Kombat game, at least in the NRS era. That pretty much sums up every change that I would make to Khaos Reigns, to, in my mind, make it the best DLC expansion, and maybe even the best story mode ever for an NRS Mortal Kombat game. What do you guys think? Do you agree with my changes? Do you think this would have been good enough to make Khaos Reigns a great DLC and give a new life to Mortal Kombat 1? Or do you think that this was doomed from the start? It doesn't matter what you do. Khaos Reigns is the ends of Mortal Kombat 1. It doesn't matter how much you ramp it up, it's done. Or do you think that the Khaos Reigns we got is great, it's good enough, you were satisfied with the story? So let me know in the comment below, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.